How we doing, guys? I am Joshua Harmon, and today I'm going to show you how to learn to play the violin in 5 minutes without touching your violin. Now hold on a second. I know that might sound a little impossible, but I'm on a time crunch. So rather than talk about it, I'm just going to show you. Ready? Here we go. So with no further ado, let's teach you how to learn to play the violin without touching your violin in 5 minutes. All right, so before we get started, the first thing that I want you to do, right? As you can tell, I'm active duty Air Force at the moment, and so because of that, I'm going to start this with kind of a militant stance. I think this it'll be very helpful, especially if you've got young children that are still learning kind of how to move their bodies, and they're looking to get started on the violin again and learn to play the violin in 5 minutes without touching the violin. So first, we're going to start with the power stance, right? So you're going to jump, you're going to land, right? Your feet are going to be angled, kind of like this. Right? And then from there, if you've ever done karate, you know that your hands are here, you're in your power stance, your shoulders over your hips are over your knees are a little bit in between your feet, you got your hands here and you're right? This is going to be your power stance, right? So we're going to start that for the violin. Right? Second, you're going to have your hands down. You're going to keep your body relaxed at all times, because at the end of the day, the best thing you can do for violin is be relaxed as you're doing it. It's going to be an extension of your body. So to start with that, we're going to be relaxed. Yes, we're in a power stance, but we're going to be relaxed here, right? So step one, power stance. Step two, we're going to take that left foot and we're going to angle it out a little bit, right? And so power stance, angle that foot out. Okay, now we're going to take our left arm and we're going to take the elbow and kind of bring it in. We're going to put our arm up, right? We're going to wiggle our fingers. Our fingers are now pointing up to the sky once we brought that elbow up, right? The thumb is also pointing to the sky. And you want to make sure those fingers are loose, right? Now that it's up to the sky, we're going to make sure that our body is open. What I mean by open is we're not crunched, we're not leaning over, right? What we're starting with, the reason that we're doing what we're doing today is posture is everything. And how you posture yourself as you play the violin could make or break your experience, right? Whether you could cause ligament damage, nerve damage, just a lot of issues by being crunched over. So make sure you stay open in order to be able to move forward, right? So we take that elbow, we brought it in. Fingers, we got them kind of wiggling and loose, right? Now we're gonna take our body, we're gonna have it open. We're gonna take that elbow, now that we've brought it up here, and we're gonna bring it out and about, right? That elbow now is, we want that elbow to be pointing kind of in the same direction as that foot, right? We brought it up, we brought it out, fingers here. Okay, this arm is going to be pointing in the same direction as that foot. We're gonna have the fingers pointing straight up, wiggly, thumb, wiggly, right? Arm open, right? Next, we're going to take our right arm, right? And just like we've got the angle here, we're going to take our arm, loosen it, bring your elbow up. Your elbow is going to point almost in the same direction as that foot, right? And then this arm is just going to be able to go up and down, but that's not really what we're going to be doing here. So first, we've got this elbow. It's kind of pointing. Now that that elbow is there, we're going to have our hand be like a squid, going in and out, in and out. And as it's going out, it's going down, your palm's going down. As it's going back, your palm's going in, kind of like a squid, right? And so the next thing that we're going to do, so first we started with the foot, second we started with the left arm, then we started with the right arm, and we've got the right hand. We will come back to the bunny ears in a second here, but the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do what's called contrary motion, right? So we've got these hands up here, and we're like, oh no, we're going to add something extra. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to slightly move to the left and the right. And if you've got some wigglers in your house, right, some little kiddos that like moving, right, just have them do this little exercise, right, as they're moving back and forth. If you got a prego mamas like this exercise too, because it allows them to get movement in their hips. So basically we're going to be moving our body just kind of back and forth. Back and forth, and basically as we're doing this, as we're going to be doing this, we're going to have that squid arm go down, and as it's going down, we're going to do what's called contrary motion. So the arm's going out, your body is going left. As the arm's going in, your body is going right, and you've got contrary motion. And basically what's happening here is you're allowing your body to be some of that pressure and that tension, that friction that you're going to need in order to have the bow go across the strings, right? So we're squid handing here. We've got this arm relaxed. We've got all this relaxed. Our chin is going to go up to the left and down at an angle. And we're going to just pretend like we're playing the violin. We're going to play the air violin, right? And we're going to make sure that this shoulder stays down. Elbow is up. And there we go. And then do a violin solo. Boom. All right. I have taught you how to play the violin without touching the violin in 5 minutes or less. How did we start? We started with power stance. All right, sweet. Then we turned that left foot a little bit out, right? Then we brought that elbow up, opened the body up, brought the elbow out, the same angle as the foot, wiggled the fingers. We had the right elbow come up. We had the squid hands, or the squid arm, right? We moved in contrary motion to the violin. But last but not least, the one thing that we did not do is bunny ears, right? Bunny ears is how you're actually going to hold the bow. So as we're doing this, we take thumb in, little bunny frou-frou, buck teeth, wiggle ears, and now as we're doing contrary motion, going back and forth, you now have a violin. Now, you say, how would I do all of this stuff? It's possible, but that's outside of the scope of the 5 minutes. So, if you want to stay tuned for the next video will show you how to take what you learned in playing the violin with no hands, right? Playing the violin without a violin. We're going to add the violin to it and see how easy this is. You can learn to play the violin. Anyone can learn to play the violin. It takes time, it takes practice, a little bit of elbow grease, a little bit of determination, but anybody can do it. You can do it. We just have to get started. So, 5 minutes or less, how we learn, teach you to play the violin with no hands, with no violin. Let's go.